Over the last few weeks, I've spoken to over 50 AI automation agency owners, and I get the same questions over and over again. So by the end of this video, you're gonna have the answers to all of the questions that you haven't even had the opportunity to ask me personally yet. Now, coming up at number one, I get asked this question so much. Liam, what niche or industry need these AI solutions? And this is a very valid question. It's very difficult when you're first getting started out to know exactly who it is you need to go and sell these services to, or where you're actually gonna be able to provide value. So one thing that I want you to do is if you're a beginner and you have experience working somewhere else, maybe you've worked behind a reception desk before, or maybe you've worked with an e-commerce store or in a retail store, or you've worked for a service-based business that generates leads online. You should have a basic level of understanding of what problems that business had, or what issues they were facing, or how their processes and systems work. If that's the case, if you've worked in a law firm before, if you worked for an accountant, then it gives you a massive advantage because it allows you to understand that niche. You get to go into a conversation with a business owner and actually hold your own. You understand what they're trying to achieve. You understand what the process of signing a new client looks like, or what their service delivery looks like. So it gives you a massive leg up when it comes to negotiating and selling to these clients. If I walked into a dairy farmer's farm and was like, mate, we help dairy farmers with AI solutions and we help optimize their business, he or she's going to turn around to me and be like, all right, what do you know about dairy farms? And lo and behold, I know nothing. So I don't even drink milk. I wouldn't be able to help them. I don't understand the business. So what it does is it puts another layer of complications and confusions on me when I'm first getting started, because I've now got to go and learn how dairy farms work. I've now got to learn about the pain points of dairy farms. I've got to learn about what they need, the solutions that could be built for them. And it's just too much. So let's make it easy for ourselves. Let's choose niches or industries that we already have some level of experience in. Now, this doesn't mean that if you worked for an accountant before, you have to only work with accountants. What I want you to do is actually look at the specific pain points of those businesses and almost use the pain point as your niche. So if you know that a reception desk for a dental clinic is the bottleneck of a business and it creates a ton of backlog and it really is the constraint of making more money for that dental practice, then chances are the solution that you can build that reception desk to help automate and save them time is something that you can also give to someone else with another reception desk behind their business. Maybe it is an accountant, maybe it's hair salons, maybe it's med spas. Whatever it is, there's no wrong or right answer. But instead of guessing, okay, this is the niche I'm going to go for, maybe look at this is the pain point that I want to help businesses solve. Use that as your niche to start with. And what you'll find is when you start speaking to these different businesses, it will start to click. You'll start to be more confident working in a certain field, or you'll start to work with a certain type of industry, and all of a sudden your solution perfectly aligns with that specific industry more than anyone else. So in short, don't try to guess, don't try to assume who you can help. And don't write any industries or businesses off. Make it easy for yourself. If you've already got experience or an understanding of a certain business, then use that as your first use case or your first case study. Build solutions around that. Now, number two is, Liam, what services can I offer? And this is a really good question because it's pretty difficult. When you're first getting started out, it's so hard to understand what it is we can actually build for these businesses. But the reality is we have to make it simple. Every single client that we speak to is usually very different to the previous client that we've spoken to, regardless of whether they're in the same niche. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean the pain points that they have, or the systems and the processes that they have set up in place, are often very different, and they're in a different position financially. They don't have the same amount of money to invest as the business owner before. So that means we have to be really flexible with the services that we provide. Now, if you're first getting started, I wouldn't go and start offering custom built platforms or custom solutions. Start with the basics. Start with Zapier, start with Make, start with BotPress, start with VoiceFlow. These are toolkits that you can take your agency from 0 to 10K with very, very easily if you do it right. What you really need to do is you need to get on calls with clients. You need to understand their pain points and their specific problems that they have. Only then, once you've really figured out what that business is going through, can you then prescribe a solution to them. You don't go to the doctor and as soon as you walk through the door, he just gives you a bag of pills and says, that will make you better. Because at the end of the day, he doesn't know what you need. So he needs to go through a process of consultation to really figure out how he can specifically provide you with a medication that's going to help your specific pain point or problem. So if we have that same mindset leading into all the calls that we have with our clients, we don't have to worry about the service delivery, because all we really need to understand is the pain points that they have, and then we can reverse engineer from there. And if we know we have a tool set like VoiceFlow or like Zapier under our belt that can facilitate automations and different AI agents and assistants that we want to build, then we shouldn't be worrying about it. We don't need to stress out. As I always say, you want to land, free clients when you're first getting started out and give away work. Do not try to charge them. Work for free, learn what skills you're missing, learn how you can help this certain industry, learn what solutions you can build or what you're comfortable selling, and then see what value you're actually bringing someone. And this leads me perfectly into the next question that I'm constantly asked, which is, Liam, what should I be charging these clients? And it's something that I struggled with when I was first getting started. When I was in my SMMA days, I would go into a hotel and I would try to charge them 1K because that's what I saw everyone charging online. Everyone was somehow getting these 1K, 2K retainers. And I thought, well, that's it. I'm just undercharging. So I should go in high and try to sell into this business and hopefully it takes me on. And the reality is it didn't work like that. Now, funnily enough, I put out a message yesterday in the Discord and we're basically hiring for the network. We're trying to bring on more people for the content side of things. We're looking to upscale our team. And what I saw blew my mind. We had over 40 applicants and probably 25 out of those 40 were just ridiculous. Now, let me tell you why. We had people that pretty much openly said they had no skills, they had no idea what they needed to do or how they could provide any value, but they wanted ludicrous numbers every single month as payment. Now, chances are they've looked at the YouTube channel or they've looked at what we're doing as a whole and they've been like, oh, Liam's got some money. We can charge him whatever we want. That's how it works, right? And it couldn't be further from the truth. I looked at those applications and I was like, holy shit, this is so bad. I'm never going to hire these people. They haven't shown me any value. There is no comparison for me to say, if I hire this person for this much, I'm going to get this. It just wasn't there. So you need to be aware of this and you need to keep this mindset when it comes to pricing for your own client. At the end of the day, when you're charging someone money, there has to be a direct output of value that you're providing them. If I'm a business owner and I'm paying you $2,000 per month, then I want to ensure that I'm gaining value that is worth, if not more than $2,000 per month. That is how it works. And until you've worked with clients and until you understand the pain points that you're solving or what those pain points are worth to that specific client, then it's impossible for you to then be able to come up with a smart price. So this is why I say work for free. You get all of these insights, you get to collect that data and you get to understand what these businesses actually need and where they're wasting time or they're wasting money. You then have the fuel to then step back and say, all right, well, I know my solution helps them with X, Y, and Z, and it saves them time here, money here. So I can now put a value to that. I know what it's worth to someone. And I think a lot of people get confused when it comes to like charging up front or charging for retainers. It sounds so good to say, all right, I'm going to charge 3K per month. But the reality is, if you can't provide 3K worth of value ongoing every single month, then by month 2, you're out the door, mate. It's not going to work. So we need to reshift our mind a little bit, always lead with value first, and then the pricing comes after the value. Don't just assume that if it's a big company, they're going to have loads of money or a big budget that they can then put towards these custom solutions. Because unless they understand the value and unless they see the results that it brings them, they're not going to keep paying you. The world doesn't work like that. So understand the value you bring and then base your pricing off of that value. That is all it is. That is the entire calculation that you need to engrave into your brain. Then lastly, I get this question. Liam, what skills do I need to have? And it's really interesting because funnily enough, inside of the network, we have a pretty even split. We have developers on this side, marketing and sales guys on this side. And both of the two don't really have cross-pollinating skills. So the developers struggle with the marketing and the marketing guys struggle with the development. So with this information, we have a few options and I've got some opinions on this because I'm not a tech first guy. I'm not a developer myself. My background's in sales, it's in marketing, it's in consulting with businesses and helping come up with strategic ways to get from problem A to solution X. That's my skill set. I love coming up with those creative solutions, but I'm not then the one who goes to build those creative solutions. That is what our development team does. So in terms of the skills that you need to have, first and foremost, I think the number one skill you need is to know how to negotiate, how to speak on the phone to someone, how to sell. You need to understand how you can package up your value into an offer. Those are core fundamental skills that you're going to need regardless of whether you're a developer or you're already in the sales and marketing space. You need to understand that. Now, those aren't easy skills to learn, and they often just come with practice and time in the game. You can obviously go and read books. They help a lot. You can watch podcasts or videos just like this, where we give you insights behind the scenes of what we've learned and what works for us. But if you are in that boat already and you are in the sales and the marketing game, but you don't have development, I think you're in the best spot, because the reality is you can go and hire a developer. You don't need to know how to do all that stuff. If you're good at sales and you're good at structuring an offer and you're good at identifying what your value is, then chances are you're pricing correctly, which means you have enough spare cash with every single client to go and outsource to that development team. Now, if you are on the other side and you are a developer, then why don't you look to partner up with someone who already has those sales skills? At the end of the day, we want to get from 0 to 10K per month as fast as possible. So although learning these skills is by far the best thing that you can do, and if you're playing the long game, I highly recommend you do so. But in the meantime, why don't you partner up with someone inside of the network that already has the sales and the marketing skills behind them, and then you can just share profits. At the end of the day, it's always better to have a smaller slice of the pie rather than having no pie to eat in the first place. And what I mean by this is it's always better to make some money, even though it's split, rather than making no money because you can't land any clients. So again, prioritize learning sales skills, negotiation skills, people skills, and that is going to be translatable in whatever you do in life, not just AI automation agencies. And if you don't want to learn those skills and you're on the development front, then go and work with someone who already has those skills. That is what you're going to need. That is what makes a successful agency. The person that can sell and the person that can package up an offer and provide value and show that value on a sales call is the one who's going to make money inside of the agency model. Now, if you did want to meet and network with other like-minded individuals, maybe you want to find a sales guy or you want to find a developer, we have the network. It's a super low cost and it gives you access to an insanely valuable community of like-minded individuals that are all building a similar agency to you. We've got people inside that have gone from 0 to 10K in a matter of 60 days. So use it as a tool. We have voice flow templates. We have make templates. We got weekly masterclasses where you can learn different skill sets and different service-based offers live from our coaches. So if you are interested in joining, click the first link in the description below and I look forward to seeing you inside. If you do like these daily videos, I read every single comment and respond to every single comment. So let me know down below. It gives me a really good insight of whether this content that I'm actually producing is actually valuable to you. Because at the end of the day, if this content isn't valuable to you, then it's not worth me posting. So let me know down below in the comments and I would be really appreciative of that. Other than that, I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.